Hey y'all, me again, Ashley. Hope you guys are doing well and swell. Hope you're feeling blessed, not stressed, wherever you are. So, I'm coming on today because it's been a little while trying to make this video because of how profoundly in sync with things I've been feeling lately. I'm coming on to talk about energy today, and not energy in the sense of like general overall feeling that maybe we all share in, we all partake in, we all understand is happening. Sense of an overturn, a turning of the tide, if you may. I feel this so deeply within my core of what and who I am that I wanted to come on and talk about it a little bit. I've been noticing lately that there is a wave amongst us, and I'm saying it's turn of the tide because I know a lot of us experience storms, and I don't mean geomagnetic storms. I mean like storms within our lives, right? But the thing about a storm is that much like the storms we have, going on and or in our lives, they're a little chaotic and they're short-lived and they pass on. Not that destruction doesn't occur, not that rebuilding doesn't happen and take shape. That's how storms work. Life are out there, right? But a turning of the tide is more like when an energy that is the same energy overturns itself and just starts heading the other direction. It's like a full wave, like a complete wave of like structured ordinance, like you're in a order. And it's very powerful and it's very profound and it's very like in oneness, like a wave, a cascade of overturn. So I feel like in the last weeks I've been experiencing this, and I feel like those of you out there are too, because I'm seeing it happen in front of my eyes. I've noticed this within my family and friends, like in the micro, you know what I mean? And then I've noticed this with my clients, and I've noticed this online. I do watch a lot of different videos and persons, and I've been getting a grander understanding of like, there's a huge shift upon us right now. And I know people use that word shift all the time, but this feels like I said, the energy is now redirected for a different set of outcomes, for a different perspective. Let's just say it that way. Whereas like a storm, we know what its angle and what its aim and what does transpire with a storm. Whereas the changing of the tides is the flow just going a different direction. And since we've been going this direction for so long, we kind of know where it was heading, but I feel like it's now done this. And it's going to come back this way, if that makes any sense to anyone. But why this was so profound is because I've been seeing these little tidbits and messages popping out at me left, right, and center. And the reason why I think messages are very important is because you and I are all messengers. We all have a message to share. We all have a message to be a part of. I might be a message for you right now today, and maybe down the road you'll be a message for someone else. And it's so powerful and profound how all of us have these connections. And that's why I say it's like a turning of the tide, because we are the tide that is turning. We're turning into something new for sure. That much I can say. Because I haven't felt this elated and lighthearted in a very long time. And I feel like it's because there is this solidification of this unification that I'm feeling. This follow through of an erected, like, I don't know how to explain, like just watching a wave or watching a waterfall. It's just like sheer power, just like, but it's like ongoing. It's not finite. It's in a sense looking eternal in a way. You know what I mean? So in a way, I feel like we've done that interlinking chain and now we're like pushing back the opposite direction. And for those that, like I said, I feel like the reason why that shift or change or that turnover is taking place is because now there's going to be a revealment all the way backwards. And I think backwards is a good way of putting it, because I always felt like in our dreams, we actually dream backwards. So in a sense, time sometimes can shift back the other way. But the reason why I mean this is because as this, backwards effect takes place, and I'm not saying it's backwards, it's just the same energy moving a different direction. It doesn't necessarily mean backwards. The revealments that are going to take place are going to be ones that have the same stride. Like the envisionment I kept feeling and the envisionment I kept thinking and feeling about this example is like those older airport, boards you would see that would tell you like what time your plane's taking off. And it was like they had these little like flicker palettes, you know what I mean? That would be like tick, 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 tick. you know, to say like, oh, your flight has changed, or you're now being redirected, or it's canceled. But those letter boards or palettes would flicker and change. And in a weird way, I kind of feel like us as a unified force, we're kind of like doing that checks and measures as we go back in this energy wave or turning of tide that I'm describing. And in a weird sense, I feel like why messages and messengers and all of us contributing a message is so profound is because I have found that as I continue on in at least my journey, I can only speak to that, right? And maybe you guys understand what I'm saying. We follow a lot of signs and symbols, and we follow a lot of symmetry in our lives. We follow a lot of you know, if you want to put it this way, like when Neo sees the cat and he's clued in that it's a glitch, right? Or the rabbit through the hole, whatever way you want to put it. We followed this for so very long. And it's not to say that we don't know that our God-ordained plan journey is not one that I want to compare with cats and rabbits, of course, right? It's like, in a sense, our heart was led in a way that we knew that we had to follow it. So I feel like for all of us that have been following, you know, God's plan, God's journey for us all, we come to these points of time, or have not come yet, but are here now. And as we sit here now in the eternal now, which is always going to be, we are God's eyes reflecting out and reflecting back in what we see, what we interact with, all elements across every single stage of existence. All is in the eternal now. And I feel like when we share these messages, we are part of that cohesive, interweb locking of energetic exchange. So for every message that gets put forth, somebody else was there to hear it. Somebody else needed to hear it. And I feel like this idea that was being impressed upon me a lot was about how most of us are either changing elements of who and what and how we bring our messages forth to the world. And I do feel like a lot of us are shifting in not what we're doing, but more so how we're doing it, or exchanging a different way of looking at what the message is going to become. And I feel like since we all provide each other little tidbits and nuggets and, you know, little messages throughout our journey for each other, as those who are all interconnected in this web of us, right? If you're someone who feels like you don't have anything to contribute, I will say this. I feel like in this time, just pick up on what the message is. And if you feel like you're ever moved to share a message, this encouragement is really, I would say, special at this time, because I feel like all of us have these little, you know, inklings and messages and tidbits and things to share that just contribute to all of our journeys across the board. So if you feel like you want to take part in any way, I feel like starting off with your message and being that messenger is what's crucial in this time, to be a part of something that you know is for you. And I am saying this also because I was getting shown something, which is a side note, I must say, but I do feel like I need to bring it up. And it's through other people's, you know, messages and messages that I've received that I'm like, like something may be going on. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been seeing numerous instances towards Minnesota, license plates, travel guides. And I mean, I'm always someone who pays attention to things, but when things get a little over the top with me seeing it everywhere, like as if I had stepped into Minnesota, I was like, okay, Minnesota. So I kept seeing that. And then I had to ask, like, what is this about? And I'm not someone who likes to go with 2 times getting it, but today was the 3rd, so I was like, okay, 3rd time's the charm. So when I asked, I saw the number 911, and then I heard the message 911. Then today, a good, gracious friend, or I would say energetic sister in kind, was ending her channel today. And as she was imparting her last message, her last bow to her loved ones and friends, she had also said, she goes, this journey started for me 11 years ago. And then she was like on the 9th month. And she was like, 9/11. So this, as I was watching this, I was like, I'm like, here's my friend Cindy just expressing this number. But it was something I needed to hear at that moment in time, just to give me my count of 3. I like to be, you know, at least 3 or 4 in the bag before I start feeling like there's something there. So I'm not sure how to elude this. It isn't a great message to have to say, but I feel like something could pop off in the ways of like needing serious, like firemen, EMS, police, etc. Anything you need to find with a 911 call. Or, as I heard the 9/11 part, you know, we all know what took place there. So it's not to say that it would be buildings involved, but I'm saying it could be something, maybe, see, because people could look at 9/11 many ways, like what truly took place, right? There's so many stories, so many versions. But we all know that it was a tragedy at its core. So I would say, like, I hope, and I don't know time frames. Never usually do. I'm usually pretty ahead. I'll say that. Like, I don't want to say anything else, but that's what I noticed recently as something that I had to share as a message. And I don't do that often, so please know. But why I think messages are so important is because in that place, that woman that was ending her channel brought forth her last message, and it was very profound for me. So I'm saying we all do this for each other all the time. And wholeheartedly, when we do ask for our own messages or our own answers, sometimes it can be through friends and family or others you see that answer that message for you or answer that question for you. It's like you use those symbologies. It's like, even if you ask out to the universe, you know, what's this issue with maybe some trauma I'm going through, and you feel like I'm not receiving. Sometimes you'll hear it on the television. Sometimes you'll hear a radio you know, DJ, VJ say something on the live. You'll hear a podcast that's talking about the same subject. These things are here to, you know, show you that you're being heard and that your message is received. So we are all here to kind of correlate messages for each other, either to respond in messages, meaning like you're the responder of the message asked, or you're the respondent, meaning like you're responding to someone out there like I am right now. You're just putting forth a message, right? So you don't know who's going to be the responder, the respondee, the one who's hearing you. So at no point in time, don't think that this isn't what it's all about. You know, we are the messengers of, you know, God's army of love. And I know that sounds corny, but it's the truth. I truly feel like I've put out messages in these last weeks that I feel like have just been answered today as well. I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but I also feel like everything I've gotten in this last time was answers and messages. And this changeover feeling of what I would say is like a wave of crossover, exchange, and begin new directions, etc. And I know that may sound cliche because a lot of people put this forth, but I can say in the last 2 years, I haven't felt this solidified where this re-examined or this like melded together in order to be that one energy, to be able to go that opposite or different direction. So I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but if you do, holla at your girl. Put a message in, you know, the comments. Throw me a like, throw me a subscribe. It helps the channel. It is free, you know. So without that further ado, I'm going to do the cards, El Cartos, because like I said, I was talking about energy messages, all the things that we need to hear at all moments in time, because we are exactly where we need to be. We don't ever exchange that idea, because even if you feel you're in your lowest low or your highest high, that's exactly where you need to be, or everywhere in between. Because there's times that you're just like, this is the dullest place I've ever been and I'm bored to tears, but that's where you were supposed to be. It really is true. Don't take my word for it. However, I must say that I've had some really lovely angel of love is in the house. That is such a beautiful way to start this message. Who doesn't need, and I swear, you guys, if you had seen, like, I went to this concert, Bob Marley's children were belting out One Love. So many thousands of people singing One Love was so great. And I was like, Bob's message to the world was one love. Always and eternal, forever and always. And it was like, I was like, wow, like, to die as a message, you know, to die as a, you know, a profound exchanger of this one message. Like, how did it inspire thousands to just evoke this emotion of love all at the same time? Like, that is a true messenger. You know what I mean? Even in his modality. So that's what I mean about this whole modality thing, is that all of us can have messages to share in any which way or form. So please don't ever ignore what you think your message is. Because I went to that concert yesterday. It blew my mind. What the angel of love and broken heart? Hello. that is not, or maybe the angel of love is coming to mend your broken heart. Ah, that's a better way of putting it. I think that's the way I'm taking it, because that just came to me right after I said that. I was like, that doesn't make sense. And then I saw how the angel's like tenderly holding a heart, like as if mending it, caressing it softly. So I was like, oh, maybe the angel of love has come to mend your broken hearts. And I feel like it is. Because you know what? A broken heart isn't a bad thing. Sometimes those scars can harden your heart, but also protect it at the same time. No, I feel like with every wound that any of us have ever felt, we've always mended, and that's what's so beautiful. Financial constraints. Holy jeez. What is it? I feel like I'm bringing some really ha 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 messages right now. But hey, the message is for someone, so this is somebody going through some stuff right here. Wow. What is it? I'm going to clarify after, that's for sure, because this has got to be better than that. I'm not even getting a bad vibe yet, but I got to get some clarification on what all this is. Unless the angel of love is doing both. Angel Gabriel. Wow, that's a lot of help from the angels. So Angel Gabriel is going to call on something for you. Envy. In the reverse. So, okay. And I've never gotten reversals. I don't even know if I should take this, but because, you know what? Yeah, I think I gotta take it that way. Because that would mean the inverse of envy. And that means that it's the overturn of envy in the sense that it can be horrendous envy. Or it can mean that the envy is being blockaded to the sense that it's negated, if that makes any sense. It's like it's run its course, perhaps. So, all right. So I'm going to be using the Mermaid and Dolphin cards as clarifiers. So we're going to get some clarity on what's going on. But whoever this is for, I am not in doubt that there is a very profound message here, because I'm even feeling and intuiting that this is a tough read already. And I do very short reads, and mine are usually very one-dimensional usually. But this feels deep for whoever this is. I'll say that much. But it kind of gives me the feeling like something's being called out with Angel Gabriel, right? Like we always think of him blowing the horn. And the reason why I feel like it's like something about financial constraints or money and envy of money, or someone is enduring financial constraints because of being envious, perhaps. Or the envy being shot at them is now being redirected because of Angel Gabriel expressing some type of truth, I would say. So... and it could mean that this one particular person had financial constraints and a broken heart at the same time. So these two angels seem to be cornering this and compressing it and handling it while the envy is being spewed at whoever this is in my collective. And I hope you're okay. Okay, so the first clarifier for Angel of Love is break free. Okay, and it says try different ventures and experiences as a way to grow and learn. Okay, so I love dolphins. They're such intelligent creatures. I think it's symbiosis, or like they have a great communication capability that even we would be blessed to even acquire. Accept heaven's help for broken hearts, which these angels are here for. So that feels, you've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. So whoever I'm speaking to right now, I know this feeling off the top of my head because this is a surrender card. That's the feeling I'm getting for this. So this broken heart that you may not know how to mend at this time, I feel like the message is surrender to God and let God help heal it, because it doesn't seem like you have any other way, shape, and form to perform this most profound healing on your heart. Because, you know, sometimes you just run out of options of how to go on or how to get over something. And I find that sometimes when you relinquish and release all of that pain and sorrow and suffering to God, you know, God cradles it in their own heart, in a sense, or the all's heart, the everlasting sea of love that I could explain in the only way I can and how. And I feel like once you do that, it's like, in a way, you don't know how it's going to come back, or you don't know how it's going to happen, but because of your faith, you know it does arrive. And I can honestly say that if you're someone who's been harrowing and not knowing what to do, that may, you know, we don't want to say that God is our last and final straw or our last and final hope. For some of us, it's our first hope, you know, and some of us, it's like feeling like we have to get to that place where we just like let it all out and let it all go to even, you know, break free, as the other card was saying, for the angel of love to heal you, which is also a messenger of God, right? So it's a very beautiful message for whoever this is for. So financial constraints, whoa. Wow, this is profound, eh? So with financial constraints, it's like it was divine magic that came through. So it's saying extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. So it seems like in all of these situations, there's this form of like guidance, direction, healing, protection, and a time to actually correct a lot of things in a most divine manner. So I think that's really... So we got Archangel Gabriel. I know it's kind of self-explanatory, but I'm curious. What could the message be expressing? Let's say that's what the clarifier is going to do. Wow, that's a lot of messages. Hold up. Wait a minute. But yeah, it's I feel like we're all in this transitional space. I met a beautiful woman today that's going to help me challenge two situations that I need to unravel and get through, that I feel like is going to tremendously help out my personal and spiritual situation. So I was given that message today by a very special woman, and it's not the one I was even talking about on YouTube. Her answer to my prayers was something I had been asking about for a couple months now, and I feel like this solidification and direction, change of direction, let's say, is going to profoundly help me. So I feel like a lot of us are getting to places that feel more led and understood, and you know, our commanded steps are, you know, all going in unison and walking one by one, and we're all at the beat of the same drum, hopefully. And if you don't feel like whoever you're interacting with is going to the beat of your same drum, don't worry. They'll just go off the beaten path that you're on. How about that? You'll go on your own narrow path, and they'll continue on the beaten path. Hold the phone. Ooh, turtles. I love turtles. Turtles. Explore your options. I feel like that's the same thing as the break free. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make a change. So, and I feel like if you, well, I mean, I am using the mermaid cards, but I feel like there's this whole thing, like as I was saying about the tides part, like the water essence. But yeah, I feel like this time to change, like it seems to be pretty transparent in here. So I don't know who this message is for, but if you're feeling like these tides are turning for you too, I feel like this message is tying into what's happening for you. Now, envy. What's the envy about? I feel like it's some star energy, or it's something that somebody's being watched out for. Because I do feel like whoever I'm speaking to, this could be man or woman right now. Because like I was feeling like it was going one way, but it's gone so much more in depth than that. Because it seems like whoever this is for, this is very trying. It's heavy, I'll say that. Like I feel the... See, this positive energy came out backwards as well, just like the envy. And it's like weird because everything else came out. And again, when positive energy, so it says surround yourself with positive people, situations, and avoid negativity. So it feels like this is something that you're doing anyways, but it's like you're combating the envy that surrounds you. Because it's like, you know how I was saying, like, we're all in unison, we're all going in one direction. I feel like that's what this card's representing. But it's like as if right now, it's like whoever this character is, or these characters are for you, it's like they're trying to ensure that you don't stay in an energetic, positive mood. Like that might be how they're affecting you. per se, or envy from others, or, you know, co-workers or loved ones or family. It's like all that perpetual envy against you or towards you does have an effect sometimes on your general output of energy. It just is what it is. It's just, you know what I mean? I'm not someone who, you know, talks about curses or things like that. That's not my point. All of our words are spells. All of the things we say are important. They have energy behind it. There's a way that you can get someone's attention with your voice and tone. Everything has a profound resonance, and some, you know, negative thoughts or feelings, or all these projections, all targeting one energy field, Merkaba, whatever you want to call it, it does hit, it does ping a lot on your energy field. You do feel that. And sometimes you can even feel those sensations coming from other people, and sometimes you may carry them. And it's like you have to release all the energies that don't belong to you. I would say do a lot of protection, but this is obviously because as someone who has been, like, I wouldn't say just envied, but it's like jealousy, everything that's attached to what this very dark hooded woman, you know, transpiring in the darkness, so far away from the kingdom, I might add, not even ballsy or brazen enough to do it in said person's face, perhaps. I really feel like it is hard to maintain positive energy with a lot of persons, you know, not really participating in the energetic essence that you're trying to put forth, right? So I do hear that, but okay, I'm going to go through this quick, okay? So I think I pretty much understand this. Whoever you are, give me a second, because there's something coming to me. There really is. It's like, whoever you are, this is deep. Like, this is really deep. There's such a myriad of things going on. So, whoever I'm speaking with, right? I'm actually seeing like this is like a chest, and like the financial constraints is when you're like at your last dime, and there hasn't been money there for some time. And I feel like this is something that you've been not just in need of, but you've gotten so used to this constraint, it seems like. Put it that way. This isn't something that you've only faced for a little while. There's like freaking cobwebs on this safe. Like, this has been like this for a while. And also when I see this broken heart, I don't know why, but the actual scar itself seems like it's old and it's been there for some time. So this doesn't feel like a new heartbreak. This feels like the amounting heartbreaks, or the heartbreak you have maybe brought forth in this time for some time. I truly feel like there's some type of bodyguarding from two of your angels right now, or in this particular time, you're being offered this type of assistance and help. And I think it's by way of a truth. Either a truth is going to come out to the, you know, those around you, or the truth about you is going to come out once you start exploring these next options that are coming your way. In a sense, it's like I see this child like floating and perusing everything that's on the ocean ground, and she meets a friend. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like you actually going this new like direction, as they said, and or other possibilities. Like, if everything you've been going through has been bringing you to this like wall, and or not the most favorable outcome, I do feel like maybe the other possibility could be that you speak a truth, meaning like you do something out of the norm of what was usually your norm. Or how you speak the truth is by actually choosing another option. It's like maybe the person you're engaged with, or maybe the person that broke your heart, who knows, is the other option that you need to explore, meaning in the sense of like maybe going away from the option that you're currently in right now. But I also feel like it's something to do with the actual help of how you gain the help. In one sense, I feel like is by exploring this other possibility. It's like as if like you going to try this new venture out, or you going to try this new way of being or living, or exploring a new but I don't feel like it's a job or something like that. I feel like this is actually like you're willing to challenge something so deep within yourself, because it's like the options that you are in front of right now could be something so tangible, but you have been not speaking your truth as to how much you want them, let's say, or how much you want to step into them. And I feel like why you always feel second guess, like you're always second guessing those ideas or those explorations, is because maybe a lot of people, you know, outwardly envy you or are jealous of you. And the only way you can really truly handle like what's coming to you or have been handling is by trying to maintain this positive energy. And with all of the hatred or all of the envy or all of the, you know, it looks like, you know, she's off out of the kingdom. She's not even welcome, whoever this person is. She's not welcome in the kingdom, and yet she's there spewing the hatred or the envy for you or what you're doing. So why I think these things are all coming into, you know, break free, accept heaven's help, divine magic, explore your options. And it's like, all I'm seeing is someone who is on the brink of a huge change. Because if you should, you know how I was saying those ticker tape letters? It's like if you like, it's like if you try to break free, if you accept the help being given to you, if you flow into divine magic and explore those options, it's like in a way, this will facilitate what Gabriel is trying to bring forth as a truth to your world and your existence. And that will alleviate, you know, the broken heart and the financial constraints in a sense. It's like the angel of love is here summoning all of the love and foundation for your heart to mold. And then as you embrace all this help that's coming to you divinely, and what I mean divinely in terms of like Angel Gabriel, that's why I feel like it has to do with the truth or speaking your truth or someone speaking on behalf for your truth and the truth that you've brought forth, let's just say, something like that. Because it's like as if when I'm seeing this like girl going after the turtle, like she was just like, to hell with all this, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if the truth comes out, it doesn't matter if the truth doesn't come out. It's like, she's just going off to explore anyway. So there's this feeling of like, no, this truth's still going to come out because Gabriel's going to beckon it or Gabriel's going to speak to it. It's like, in a sense, I feel like you're off exploring options instead of dealing with all of these issues. And in essence, I feel like that is the change that you need to make. And for once, you're actually going after it. And that's why I feel like also the envy was backwards, because it means like maybe the envy's not hitting you anymore. And that's why the positive energy is backwards, is that it's either that you've been maintaining it to a point of fault that the envy falls away, or you're just constantly positive energy and that's how you're deflecting it all. So it can mean that also when it is in reversal stage. So whoever you are, I'm very excited for you because you do look like you're going to do it one way or another, because I feel like this card is saying volumes about what's happening for you. It's like you're just off exploring your world, regardless of the heartbreak and regardless of the financial constraints. It's like you're still out there doing your thing. So I feel like with that, you repelled everything that came at you, and that's why, you know, God's favor has stepped in your life. So thank you lots. Bring forth your message. Say what you need to say, and please reveal who you are. It doesn't matter who you do it to or who with, as long as you do it. That's the main point. So have a good one, guys. If you have any questions, if you feel like you want to add, join, share, subscribe, like, it all helps me. And if you do like anything I said, feel free. It helps. Don't you want to help? Have a good night, guys. Bye.